LeBron James all the way in.
And here comes Simmons the other way, 3-on-2. Simmons eludes the defender and lays it in with that.
Certainly the length altered that shot. Out of the quick steps and crunches.
Play right there. Porzingis from Jennings. Throw down and a foul.
Irving, splits the defense with the dribble.
I mean, if we want to talk about a team underperforming, we should be talking about the Thunder. Because that team is really underperforming, especially with all the talent that they have.
Yeah.
And of all the games that I've seen, it's your go, my go. Your go, my go with Paul George, Carmelo Anthony, and Russell Westbrook.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, before we say anything about the Timberwolves, I think we should really talk about the Thunder at some point
Yeah.
as the most disappointing team in the West.
No, I'm definitely not saying the Timberwolves are the most disappointing team. They're winning. They're 10-6. They're not that bad. I just think they're better than. I don't think they're as good as their 10-6 record. Let's put it that way. The Thunder, definitely we need to talk about them. I mean, like you said, dude, they're playing this weird, like, Russell Westbrook is taking, like, the. Oh man, I'm gonna call out Russell Westbrook real quick.
Okay.
Shots fired. All right. I think Russell Westbrook is the worst team player in the NBA.
In the NBA, okay.
Like, I think he's, as far as talent is concerned, he's obviously like a top 5 player. But when it comes to being on a team with these super talented players alongside of him,
Right.
I think it's really hard for all of them to shine at once like you see on Golden State. I don't think it's possible with Russell Westbrook. Does that make sense?
No, it makes sense, but I would like to extend it more towards all three of those guys.
Carmelo Anthony definitely fits in that boat too. I haven't seen him, like, I feel like Paul George has it in him to do it. I just don't think Carmelo and Russell Westbrook do.
I mean, if we even just look at their last game on Friday, they blew a 20-point lead
Yeah, to
against the Spurs
Yeah,
with the Kawhi-less Spurs.
yeah,
They should be able to dominate that game. And the thing I don't like about Russell Westbrook's game in particular is the fact that he jacks up a lot of threes that he's not particularly good at.
yeah,
And that's been the issue since I've had with him since probably a couple years ago when he was with Durant.
yeah.
I think he's a really good player. He's a talented player. Obviously can drive to the hoop, finish, crazy athletic and explosive. But my problem with him is that he's not able to get others involved like a Rondo. Like even Alonzo Ball, even though, Alonzo Ball hasn't been playing as well.
Yeah.
But at least he gets the other guys involved. And I don't think Russell Westbrook has been doing that well enough. And I also don't like the fact that Carmelo Anthony has not changed his game for this team,
Yeah, not at all.
which is something that you need to do because obviously there's a stigma about you now. There's a reputation that you have that you're just once the ball's at you, the offense stops.
Yeah, basically.
And I don't like that. Because I think if you want to prove people wrong, you need to step up, do other things, and you'll get your shots.
Certainly, yeah.
And Paul George needs to do a better job as a leader, I think. Because, I don't know if he wants to be a leader. I don't know if that's me reading into it too much, that I think he can be a leader. But he needs to step up and claim to Russell Westbrook and Carmelo Anthony, look, we can't be doing... Well, really, it falls on Billy Donovan.
Yeah.
Because I think what they need to do is they need to sit down and say, look, we need to run an offense. We can't be doing no more of this one-on-one stuff after it's like your go, then my go. It just doesn't work. This isn't YMCA pickup ball. You're going against real NBA teams, and you're going to get blown out by well-coached teams like the Spurs
Yeah.
with Greg Popovich because he plays team ball, and everyone on that team is built and sold on the fact that team ball wins games.
Yeah, definitely. What it boils down to, I think the Thunder are suffering from 3 big things. First and foremost, Russell Westbrook can't run a team. Secondly, I don't think Billy Donovan can handle all those personalities and coach that team.
Right.
And thirdly, I don't think Paul George wants to be there. I think there was a moment where he was sold on the idea of being on the Thunder with Carmelo and being in this big 3 with him and Westbrook. But I really think it's finally sunk in for Paul George that he doesn't want to be there. And I think he's very prepared to be moving next summer.
Probably.
In free agency. I think he's going to the Lakers.
Yeah, obviously it looks like it that way because I don't think Paul George has signed any extension with the Thunder.
No.
There's been no real rumors about it that I've heard. And Russell Westbrook did sign his extension, but does anyone really want to play with him?
Yeah.
And that's the real question here. Because I think he's a hell of a talented player. He's obviously one of the best.
Yeah.
But what I get upset with him, and I know he can do better because I've seen it before, he needs to be more of a team player. I need to see it more from him.
He's just like, I think he's trying. Like that's the sad part. I do think he's putting in his best effort to be a team player. Mm-hmm. But what it boils down to for Westbrook is he doesn't know how to do it very well. Like his idea of being a team player is just letting Paul George and Carmelo Anthony take shots and have the ball in their hands. But that's not necessarily the biggest part of being on a team. Like you need to know what suits those players better and put them in positions to succeed. Right. And I don't think he knows how to do that. Like, I think the thing that worked with him and Kevin Durant was Kevin Durant knows how to put himself offensively in the right position all the time. Like, Carmelo doesn't always make the best decisions. I love him. He's my favorite player. He doesn't make good decisions offensively, even though he's so talented offensively. And then Paul George, I just don't feel like he's a leader. And shots fired all over the place at the Thunder. But I really don't think he has it in him to lead this team, and I don't think he wants to because I think he understands that it's Westbrook's team and the fans support Westbrook. Yeah. So I think this team is, out of all these super teams that have been built in the last, 8-9 years, like last decade, this one has the most flaws with it, and they're gonna really struggle coming up in the playoffs if they even make it to the playoffs.
Yeah, my thing with them is that I just think all these guys are involved in that Michael Jordan mentality. Yeah. Which is everyone saying that Michael Jordan did it by himself. He didn't need anyone's help.
Not true.
Not true at all. And I think that's where today's NBA fans are at in terms of they're mad at the Warriors. They're mad at the Heat. They're mad at this Cavaliers team. Because basically they all, LeBron, Kevin Durant, they all went to a team that has a team already built, a team that's been set in place. Yeah. And, the fans are like, oh, no, that's garbage. How can you go to a team that's already been built? That's not even that's an easy win. You have to be hard. It has to be hard. Mm-hmm. Which, to a degree, I understand why it needs to be hard, but at the same time, if you had a job and someone offered you something where you could have a better team, would you not take it?
The Warriors one makes the most sense. Like, every other night, some of those dudes just get the night off and get to, take a break. I think people read too much into that, like you're saying. Like, I think people get too upset at that. Mm-hmm. Like, you have to, at the time, Kevin Durant going to the Thunder or going to the Warriors, like, I can't tell you how much I dislike Kevin Durant for that decision. Right. But really, like, the farther away we get from it, goodness gracious, I can't speak. The farther we get away from it, like, I want to give him credit because I do think, like, he really, and he just had that interview where he came out and said he's not a leader, Right. And I think that takes a lot of understanding of yourself to do that and put yourself in a position where you're not even necessarily the star of this team and you're sharing the spotlight with all these guys. So I want to give him credit. And, like, those guys all make a lot of sacrifices to be on that team. Right. Klay Thompson could be making a lot more money. He could be a star on 15 or probably even, like, 20 different teams in the NBA. Could be their star player. And he could probably average 28 or 29 points a game. Right. Offensively, he's that good.
I think it's the better stroke out of all the people at Golden State.
Totally agree. That's why I want to use his name, because I really think offensively he's so talented. He could be a star anywhere except Golden State, where he's kind of like third fiddle or even fourth fiddle, you know? I would say he's probably fourth on the team.
Yeah, compared to all those guys. Yeah.
So they all make a ton of sacrifices to be on that team. So I give him credit, even though I talk a lot of trash on the Warriors because I really don't like them. But I don't know, man. Draymond Green makes a lot of sacrifices to play for that team. Right. Steph Curry, Kevin Durant, especially Kevin Durant, was a superstar. Now he's like he's the second option on their team. Mm-hmm. So I guess that's the problem we're seeing with the Thunder is no one knows what to do. They don't know who is first fiddle, who's second fiddle, who's the third option. No, they don't know. We don't know for them. So they need to figure their shit out. Billy Donovan, he ain't your coach. If this is your team for the long haul, Billy Donovan ain't your coach.
Well, nope, he's not staying there for very long. And, I mean, that's pretty much it. I mean, we went on – I like how we went from, like, Philadelphia to –
stream of consciousness.
just a bunch of different things, and we ended up here on the Thunder and the Warriors somehow. But
I liked it, though.
let's